Happy Flosstube Friday, friends. My name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode number 33. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. If you're finding me for the first time, welcome. My channel is about cross stitch and quilting and making and doing and all the things. So I hope you check me out and stick around. So today we're going to have a short and sweet video. I've had a busy week, but I wanted to come on here and give y'all a little update of what I've been working on. And that includes some studio fun. So if you're here for this stitching, we're going to start with the stitching. So I've got some whips. I've got some Christmas works in progress as I have a new start from this week that I teased with you guys last week, but I got her started and oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I pulled out a goodie, an oldie but a goodie from March Mania that I had to get some stitches in on. I also have a little bit of haul that is more finishing related and quilty related, not so much stitchy. And then, like I told you, some studio tour fun, but let's just dig right in. So let's just start with the new start for the week because that was so much fun. Now I showed you guys last time or the time before in one of my project keepers, I showed you Hello from Liz Mathews, 12 Days of Christmas, her samplers, just in case this is your first time. Remember, I've got all, somehow I don't have the sixth one. I need to add that to my cart stat. So first day of Christmas, third day, fifth day, second day, not in order. And so what does that mean? That means I'm working on the fourth day of Christmas. Now, have I done 1, 2, and 3? No. I've done 1 and 3. 2 it hasn't been done yet, but that's okay. But I did get my start on the fourth day of Christmas. So let me show you. Let me show you first my project information card because I'm doing a full color conversion. This is a Tiger Lily custom color conversion that I did. Liz charts and NPI silks, and then she has a DMC conversion, both fabulous. But I wanted to put my own little Tiger Lily twist on it. So what I did is I converted it to my Miss Lucy color silks that I get from Spain. I will link her down below. Gorgeous. I have her full color spectrum that I treated myself to a couple of years ago. So I did a conversion. And so on here, I have listed the DMCs that are called for and then what I converted them to in Miss Lucy colors. Miss Lucy colors are all numbers. And you can see I put this symbol next to here. So I keep this in my project keeper so that it's handy and dandy. So when I'm referencing, when I'm charting, it's great. So without further ado, let me sneak it in. I have it on a board. So here is the pattern. This is the fourth day of Christmas. I mean, look at those birds. Are they not spectacular? And they're not just plain birds. What's great is she actually puts some like quilty stars and stripes, and there's quilty stars in the birds have texture and dimension, and that's what I love about Liz's patterns. Oh my gosh. So then you can see this is the gorgeous silk ring, and I just keep adding to it. This is the silk ring. This is my Miss Lucy silk ring for all the charts. So even though there might be a color in here, you're like, that's not in this chart. That's because I keep the full skein from the Miss Lucy collection that I converted to on. This is it's got a floss tag somewhere on it that says this is the 12 Days of Christmas silk skein. So that way it doesn't get confused. I don't use it somewhere else because I only have one skein of each color and I don't want to run out. So far, except for the blacky blue, it's not solid black. It's got some variegation to it. That's the only one I've had to reorder because Liz does put that everywhere. It does get used a lot. But without further ado, let me show you this stitching I got done this week. Oh my gosh. So I did a center start. If you're new here, I am an Ada stitcher. I just can't see the linen, but I love the Ada. This is a 14 count Let me reference my project information card. This is a Zwiegart 14 count Country Cream that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. I went ahead and I got a full yard, or 2 of it actually, so that I wanted all 12 samplers to be in the same color. You can tell it just has a little bit of texture. It's not a hand dyed, obviously it's a Zwiegart, so it's a machine, I guess screen printed is how they do it. But it's got just a little bit of dimension to it. So it's got a little bit of movement in the background, not too much to overpower the beautiful pattern that Liz has given us. So I did a center start for this. Joy to the world, love it. It was so great. Oh my gosh, the silk, stitching with silks. If you haven't stitched with silks, you need to treat yourself. Put it on your Christmas list or your holiday list. You deserve it. And I love these silks so much. Anyway, so that is my start. So I went ahead and I did the words, and then I had to go onto one of those birds and just look, like I was talking about, look, that it just gives the bird such texture and dimension. And I'm really liking my color conversion so far. I think that it complements, it's not an exact match, but they go together for my other 2 charts. So I really enjoyed it. I got a lot of stitching in a couple days. I had to get on that one. So that was one of my whips for this week. The other one that I got some good stitching in Saturday, I think I had talked about rainy day stitching. It didn't rain, but that's okay. So this is in another one of my project keepers and this is a sal that I'm doing with my friend Sarah. It was her birthday start on July 1st. Let me open up the chart or close the chart so you don't see. So this is Miss Lucy. We have a sal. I will put the hashtag right here. It's Miss Lucy Sal on Instagram. I think we have a couple friends that have ordered it that are going to start playing along, stitching along with us. I know Sarah was on vacation this past week, so she didn't take Lucy along because she is a big girl. And so when you go on vacation, I don't either. I don't bring the big Mahmood type samplers. You got to bring the small handy dandy projects because you can't be whipping out with your cross stitch blanket. But she is back home, and last night she sent me a text. She's so excited. She missed Miss Lucy, and I can understand why, because it is stitching up fabulous. So let me just show you the progress I made since last week. I think last week I just had a little bit of the pink, a little bit of the green, but I'm working on that center motif. This is on an 18 count. Let me pull up my project information card so I don't quote it incorrectly. Let's see, this is on an 18 count covered bridge. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. From LFA Linens. I'm using a piece that's 19.5 by 25. The finished piece is gonna be 15.5 by 21. It's 281 by 380. So I get my LFA Linens from TreeHouse Fiber Arts, Rachel and Sue. They're a team. It is a small town. I love supporting small, and I love supporting Sue and Rachel. They're so sweet. Sue is the dyer, and Rachel does the distributing of this gorgeous. So this is Ada. Like I said, I'm an Ada stitcher, and this is Ada, but it's the dimension. Okay, let me back it up so you can see. Covered bridge. Look at the modeling. Oops, sorry. So true. I know. Sorry, didn't iron. But it's just so gorgeous. She's got some, so even if you're a linen stitcher, she's got some linen so you can do her club. I think she might be putting the pause on the club. Supply issues. I mean, that's a common thread among some of the hand dyers. But they also just have some in stock neutrals and fun things. So that was Miss Lucy. Loving. I got some progress on her. Now I had a goal. Ooh, let me close up the pattern again. I always fold it back up. I had a goal. Here we are on June, I don't know, 22nd, to do that whole center motif in 1 month. I mean, maybe if I dedicate some time this week, I might be able to stick to that and do, like I talked about, 1 motif per month. It's almost a year, give or take. That's a long time, but she's a big girl, so it's okay. If you've been around, we had a Miss Mary who was also a big girl. She's not done yet. I still haven't charted my alternative area, but she's so close, so close. And I think I know where she's gonna go in the house. So now that kind of like lights a fire for me to get her done. One more whip that I want to share with you guys, and you'd be like, what? I thought we were Christmas stitching. Well, we were Christmas stitching, but for whatever reason, okay, so this is the deal. So 18 count Ada, love it. As long as I have, okay, the reason I can't do linen is because of my eyes. I can't, like, even the magnifiers and the lights and all the things are just, it's not fun for me. So the 18 count is, I love the one strand stitching. It's fantastic, but I have to do it when my eyes are fresh. So that's in the morning or when I first start stitching at night. Once I get like an hour into the stitching, my eyes get tired. I don't know. So then I have to bump up my counts so I can keep stitching because I want to keep stitching, but my eyes have, so that's why I started first, the 4th day of Christmas, because that's on 14 count. And then, so that, let me just, the progress of my a stitching night for me, of one of those big stitching nights. So, which is not every night. I wish this was one every night. So if I decide like Saturday afternoon, so 6 o'clock, I'm going to sit down and stitch from like 6 to 10. That's like that's a chunk of time. Don't get it very often, maybe once a week. So then I'll start at 18 count, do about an hour of that. And then I'll do about an hour, hour and a half of the 14 count, like the Christmas one where I actually have to reference a chart count, like all the charting and the counting. And then by the end of the night, when it gets to like 9 o'clock, which really is usually past my bedtime, it's not past my bedtime, but I'm usually like winding down because I'm getting up at 6 a.m. Anyway, so I get all to that. And so when I get to that point, I still don't want to stop stitching, but going from chart to counting. So I always have a fill-in project. That's the moral of the story is why this came out was because I needed a good fill-in project. Now, where is the cover page? Here it is. This is what came out. So see how that fill-in, the boo and the skirt. So I always have a couple projects that are ready to go for the fill-in. So when I still want to keep stitching, but counting is hard and referencing the chart, I'm done with that. So I pulled out Hilda Boo and Sunflowers 2 by With a Needle and Thread, which was a March Mania start. And I got some progress on her. And so I'm loving it. So I was working on the fill-in of the skirt and I actually did some counting and put the yellow sunflowers in. This is all a custom conversion too, but this was before I had my project cards. So I can't tell you what it is. There is a Mose silk for that yellow. There is a Mose silk. This is my 3 colors of Mose silk that I pulled over. And obviously I went for this right one was the one that became the boo. I auditioned them when I started stitching. So there's a couple Mose silks. The black is Mose silk as well. Yep, don't have a card. And then I'm using avocado for the green. But so that was what I got on, what I worked on this week, just for some later night fill-in stitching. So she got a little bit of love. I got some time. Like I said, I'm enjoying stitching Christmas. I kind of probably will switch gears and stick with that for a while, but this was the fill-in project that was handy and dandy. So that's what got some love. So those are my 3 stitching projects. I don't have any stitchy haul. That's like the stitchy goodness for the week. But I do have, like I said, I have some haul and I have some studio fun to share with you guys. So let's just dig into that. So, but first I wanted to thank Miss Katie. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Last week I told you guys that I hit 5,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've had at least one of my stitchy friends, actually 2 of them, have reached out and are sending me things. Now remember, on August, is it 5th? Friday. I think it's August 5th. Friday, August 5th is going to be my 1-year Flosstube-versary, and as well as a 5K subscriber celebration combination. Woo woo, party cannons here. So we've got 2 weeks from today, and that extravaganza is going to be, and I've got some good things that are coming to me in the mail to share with you guys. They are so sweet, and they are donating prizes and giveaways, and so that's going to be a really, really good one, and I'm so excited and honored that you guys are participating. But last week I told you guys I was celebrating, and my friend Miss Katie donated to my Buy Me a Coffee as a congratulatory and to help me with the shipping costs for those giveaways. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Katie. So that was fun. So my haul this week, I actually went into Leesburg back to visit my mama for a week. not for a week, just for the day, but anyway, this week. And that's where the Hobby Lobby is. So let me tell you a little bit of a story. So last Sunday, I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm going to do more pillow finishing. You know, those cute, like, I'll insert a photo here. So I finished those 3 patriotic pillows, loved it. And I want to do a tutorial for you guys. So I had pulled out 2 pillow size finishes, and that's what I was going to do on Sunday. I was going to finish and film and share with you guys. Okay, well, I pulled out my Rick Rack bucket. And yes, so my Rick Rack is in a bucket, like a tub, one of those plastic tubs, and it's a hot mess. As you can imagine, ribbons and messes and things, and so it became a hot mess. The moral of the story is at the end of my Sunday morning with my coffee mixing them out, I realized I didn't have the right color Rick Rack. I definitely wanted to sew. That was part of the tutorial that I did, you know, in those pillows, it had Rick Rack on the sewn in on the inside, but I did not have a Rick Rack that matched these 2 finishes that I wanted to do on Sunday. So I went on the hunt. Okay, so I live in Mount Vernon now, and we have the big, like some of the big box stores, but not all the big box stores. And so I went went to some of them. The moral of the story is at the end of the day, I had no Rick Rack. There was no Rick Rack to be found here on my main drag where I live. And so it was very disappointed. But instead, what did I do? I ended my adventure, my shopping day, spree, afternoon at my local quilting shop. Okay, so let me show you here. Boop. So I got 50 yards of fabric. I already have, it's put away. Some of it's here, some of it's here. It's put away, 50 yards. Oh, and then some of it, of course, is mixed into the rainbow assortment. Because I've got some mind-blowing vintage stitching in my bucket, and I needed new fabric to match. Oh my gosh, the project capers that are going to be coming in August and September, maybe October, I don't know, are going to be mind-blowing. Oh my gosh, they're so great. The vintage stitching, so I got, I mean, like, perfect. You know it's good when your mother says, oh my gosh, that matches perfect. Now for her, remember, she's an artist and she painted that painting and I used with the note card. So for her to use the word matches perfect, vintage stitching. So this stitching is 50, 60, 70. I don't know. It doesn't have a date or a year or whatever, but it's vintage stitching, table linens for sure. And I have found a fabric that hold hands and they fit so well together. And my mama uses the words perfect. Get ready. It's going to be great. Sorry. So I ended up getting 50 yards of fabric. So that'll keep me busy sewing. So that was that day. Tangent. So anyway, I went to visit my mom this week, and that is where the Hobby Lobby is. And so I was like, okay, back to my Rick Rack. I need the Rick Rack. The moral of the story is that at Hobby Lobby, they did not disappoint because I was able to score without dropping. 50% off. Love that. A rainbow assortment of Rick Rack. So there were some colors that I have the reds, in case you're like, where's your red? I had 3 shades of red. I have a couple shades of the lighter greens. I had red and green because Christmas finishing, and I had bought that back in the Christmas time. But I needed some other colors. I still need some other colors. And I looked at Fat Quarter Shop to look at like the Lori Holt ribbon that comes on the spools. And those are gorgeous, don't get me wrong. But that's 12 yards, I think, or 15. It's a lot. It's a lot of length. And it was a lot of, and it's not inexpensive. Super great. I love that it coordinates with Lori's stuff. But this is just, so for one pillow finishing, like, do I need 12 yards of navy? I mean, maybe in my lifetime I do. But for the price of one of those, I probably got half of these, all of these. I don't know, they were 50% off. Anywho, so loved that haul. And then of course, while I was there, I couldn't just get Rick Rack because the whole ribbon was on sale. So I did get some, look at those. Yummy. It wasn't in the Christmas section, although the Christmas aisle is starting to come. Woo, crazy. Which is great because, I'm stitching Christmas, so why not embrace it? But these were just Christmassy, neutrally black, white, gingham red. Sorry for the glare from the window. But so I got some ribbon at Hobby Lobby. And I'm super excited. And then, so I'm not going to, next week, spoiler alert, not a spoiler, but teaser. So these also came from Hobby Lobby. They were in the spring section of the store. My store has their springs, like if it says spring shop, the whole store was like 66% off, which is pretty sweet. And so these are just glass jars. And I've got an idea. Remember I talked about my hot mess ribbon bucket? Stay tuned, friends. Next week, there's gonna be something here. And I'm so excited about it. Super excited about it. But this is, in my mind, the vision is gonna be great. Ribbon bucket mess no more. And it's gonna be pretty. So that's it. So if you wanna be, it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Okay, so that was my ribbon haul and my little glass jar haul, which was super great. 66% off. So I think they're like $10 each normally, so $3 for these beautiful glass. I had this one, but I wanted 3 that matched. I should have gotten 4, but instead I put my little plant here. So anyway, and then what came in the mail, as you know, I have a Tula, well maybe you don't know, but this shelf right here is all Tula pink. I have a little bit of a Tula pink. Obsession is a strong word, but I love all the Tula pink. I love all the things. She can do no wrong. So of course I had to get the fat quarter collection of her. It's not even that new anymore. I think it came out about a month ago. I was a 14-piece fat quarter set of Tiny Beasts. Now, if it's on a bolt, it's at least half a yard. That's my rule for my fabric wall. The fabric wall is at least a half a yard. It's usually like 1 or 2 yards. But so the fat quarters actually live somewhere else in the studio over there. You can't see, but it's on a different bookcase. But I got the fat quarter bundle from Tula Pink's Tiny Beasts. And so that way I can look at them closely and figure out like which one I like the most. That's what I like to do with her stuff is I'll get the fat quarter bundle and I'll see like, oh, I like this, this, this. And then I'll go to fat quarter shop and I'll be like, okay, 2 yards of that, 2 yards of that, and 2 yards of that. So that way I can, I'll need them all or I'll want them all, but there's some that I like really like. And so then I'll get enough to put on a bolt and have extra for backgrounds and things like that. Okay, so that's my kind of stitchy haul stuff. I will have, I'm hoping, crossing your fingers, that the cross stitch haul next week will be off the chart because I got an email from my local quilt shop, my local LNS in Stitches right here in Mount Vernon. I got an email yesterday that they are doing a Christmas in July sidewalk sale, but it's inside because it's 127 degrees right now here. So it's not on the sidewalk. They're doing it indoors. It starts tomorrow and I'm going to be there when they open because I got no idea what it's about. I've never been to their Christmas in July sale. So hopefully, I mean, do I need anything? No. Need is not the right word to use for this, but I'm going to enhance my collection, hopefully with some good stuff for that store. So, 2 other things I'm going to tell you about and then I'll let you go for the day. So I've been teasing about my studio table. Now I told you guys that I was building, you know, I'm working on revamping my studio. As you can see, my wall is ever changing. I brought my pink sewing machine. So now she has a focal point on the wall. But this week, you ready for it? My studio island is complete and it is off the chart. Yay. So you just, okay. So I'm going, it deserves its own video. It really, a studio island deserves its own video. Once you see it, and I will put a little sneak peek right here of a picture of it. But if you want to see all the nooks and crannies and the details of this studio cart island, you need to check it out. So I'm going to film that right after I finish this because it's bonkers. So I'm so excited. Patrick and I worked on this for weeks. But the last section came together last night and I just can't wait. I love spending it. Anyway, here's your picture. Check her out. Yes. She is that good. The other thing that I got this week that is kind of studio fun, and I'm super excited about it. And I just want to share in case you are a sewer and you're looking for one of these. You know, in my old studio, I had IKEA desks. This is a desk situation, a sewing machine. So if you're not a sewer and you don't have a sewing machine, this could be where you exit. Thanks so much for happy stitching, friends. But it's also good for a desk. So whatever, because it's sold for a desk. So I'm going to do a studio tour. It's coming together, but this just came last week. The second one comes today because I had to test it out. So anyway, when we used to sew in my old studio, I had IKEA desks. So they were desk height, right? The big sturdy you can watch my old, I will link her right here, my old studio tour, and you can see the desks, and it was a great surface. It served me well. But my table, my studio island, is counter height. It's actually a little bit taller because I'm 5'9", so it's a little bit even taller than counter height. We made it the perfect height for me for cutting with my rotary cutter because I can cut for hours, and you don't want to hurt your back by bending over and cutting on a desk or sitting and cutting. It's just not good to do it for long periods of time. So when we built this island, we built it at belly button height. Is Patrick's like perfect math, and he's right. And so it's my belly button height and it's perfect. Anyway, so that's my island. And so when a lot of times, so there's two different ways I sew. I can sit down at the sewing machine and just sew for hours. Like if I'm quilting and it's just like block after block after block, go. That's a sitting down procedure. But many times when I'm working on like a project keeper or a small, like if I'm sewing finishing one of those pillows, I need to go from the island to the sewing machine, back to the island, back to the sewing machine, like it's zigging and zagging, back and forth, and sew for 30 seconds, come back and cut, or come back and iron. So rather than standing and sitting and standing and sitting, you ready for it? I got one of those sit-stand desks for my sewing machine. That one might say, that's crazy. But it's not. And I've tested it. That was the moral of the story. The reason I bought one of these sit-stand desks, and this is not sponsored. Surely do wish it was sponsored, because these are not, disclaimer, this is not an inexpensive desk, but it works. And so anyway, so I ordered one, and this is from Costco. Again, not sponsored. So I ordered one because I was like, okay, worst case, if it doesn't work for my sewing machine, it can work for my desk. So this studio, also I have my computer, my office, all the computery work is also on a desk. Right now it's on a 6-foot folding table. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna order one, and I got it. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be perfect for my computer, my sit-stand computer, whether I wanna stand and do computer work or sit and do computer work. Either way, it's gonna be perfect for that. So I'm just gonna order one, but I'm gonna try it with my Juki 2010. Now, if you have a Juki 2010, you know it is a workhorse and an industrial sewing machine. Like, it is solid, it's metal, it's not plastic, and it is a go type machine. And I was afraid it was going to shake the table. It doesn't. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. You cannot go full speed, which I do go full speed when I'm sitting. When I am sitting and I'm quilting, like this thing, that's the stitches per minute, bonkers. And I will go full speed when I'm sitting and stitching. But when I need to stand, and so I'm raising the desk up, when I'm standing, I'm not going full speed. I'm just sewing, 12 inches or 15 inches or 30 inches max of a project, coming back to the ironing board, coming back to the island, going back and forth a lot, right? So I don't need it to go full speed when it's in standing height. And so I tested it for this past week, and it is awesome. And so I will put a picture here of just the desk. It's not really that exciting. But it works great. And it's one of those, that means a computer. In case you were like, what's the sound effects? You push a button and it goes, and you push another one, That's how it's a sit-stand motorized desk. That's the word we're looking for. So it does do that, and it is so great. It's a perfect addition to my studio. And so the sewing machine is on one, my desk one is coming, so I'm going to lose my 6-foot folding table, and so my studio is coming together, and which is going to be so great. This space, I'm making my like dream studio. Like, I'm excited, so excited for it. So anyway, that was another story I just wanted to share in case you were in the market. I will link it down below. Like I said, I don't know. It was Costco online only, not at the one at the store, because the one at the store is a little, its reviews talk about it being shaky and small and things, but this particular one that I will link is the one that I have, and I can't speak highly enough about it. That is my floss tube for today, friends. I think that's it. Yes, because I'm going to do a separate island tour. I need to sound like theme song. And that's what I've got. So remember, next week, come back. Hopefully this stitching haul, maybe I'll even see if they'll let me do a little story with them. It's tomorrow in the shop while I'm at In Stitches during their Christmas and July sale. I have no idea what it is. Could be fantastic, could be a bust. I don't know. But if it's fantastic, maybe I'll see if I can get some video filmed and add it to stories, or at least bring it here next week. But hopefully there'll be some stitchy, good patterns to share with you guys. I'm thinking if it's a Christmas in July that they'll actually like be having some older patterns on sale, probably stuff I've never seen before. Hopefully it's Christmas themed because that's my jam. So let's just see. So I hope you have a great week, a great weekend, get lots of stitching in, and I'll see you next time, friends. Happy stitching.